Hello and welcome to this guide on how to find eggs in Enshrouded. Eggs are used for the highest tier of intelligence food that gives +4 intelligence. So if you are the wizard type, that's the best type of food for you. You need a lot of them though, because every portion you want to make of this food costs 3 eggs. And eggs have turned out to be pretty hard to find. So in this video I will show 2 ways of farming them that might not be super fast, but at least not painstakingly slow. The first way is to farm vukas in the Nomad Highlands. There is a small camp here where you first enter the Nomad Highlands through the Pillars of Creation. So this is where you go, gate to the Pillars of Creation, and the quest leading you here, and then you go out into the Nomad Highlands. On the map you start down here, right? It's up here. And this is the camp, so you exit from there. It's right ahead. If you are higher level, you can clear the camp in less than a minute, and I got 3 eggs from that. It's not much, but 3 eggs is enough for 1 meal, and that will last you 40 minutes. You won't always get the same number of eggs from this camp. If you're really lucky, you might get more. If you're really unlucky, you might get absolutely no eggs at all. The vukas have a random chance of having eggs on them when they die, but I feel like the average from this camp is maybe between 3 and 5. The better way to farm vukas though is inside of this mountain. There is a boss in the middle, so if you just enter the Nomad Highlands and you're not that high level, you might want to avoid the boss, but you can still farm vukas inside of the mountain, just avoiding kind of the central area. It's just across a small mountain bridge here, and then you just follow the mountainside to get to the entrance. It's not that entrance ahead, it's an entrance to a flame sanctum. We just have to continue a bit further along the mountain ridge here. And here we are at the entrance. Let's go in and clear the camp. It's not that the vukas here have any higher drop chance or anything like that for eggs. It's just that there's a lot more of them. So, well, more vukas means more chances of eggs. Here's the boss in the middle. The boss don't drop any eggs. So if you just want to speed farm eggs, it might actually be better to just ignore him. There is also a small bonus to farming vukas inside of this mountain instead of the camp. And that is, let me just loot these ones, no eggs, and a few eggs. And that is these small blue mushrooms. They're actually pretty useful as well for intelligence food. I'll get back to these blue mushrooms later. So I got really unlucky this time and only got 3 eggs, but on average I feel like I get a lot more eggs from this big cave than I do from the vuka camp. And as an added bonus, I got 24 of the mushrooms. However, if you don't want to get your eggs by killing what looks like supersized Ewoks from Star Wars, then there is another way. Unlike the vukas that are around level 18 when you enter the Nomad Highlands, the mobs in this area is closer to max level, so that would be closer to level 30 or level 30. But there are a bunch of birds' nests that you can fly to directly from this ancient tower. So what you do is you just jump out from the ancient tower and fly down to the closest bird nest, try to land on top of it, and there's a bird waiting for me there. And with some luck there's some egg, and maybe a bird to fight. Then you teleport back to the tower again. And just go for the next bird nest. If you don't like to fly out to every bird's nest, you can of course also position a flame altar right next to a bird's nest. You just loot it and then log in and out to reset. Birds' nests don't always have eggs in them though, so just like vukas, it's kind of random and you can either be lucky or unlucky. And despite being in a higher level area, I feel like clearing vuka camps is the faster option. So if those are the best ways to get eggs in Enshrouded, and those ways are still pretty bad, then how do you get enough eggs? Well,
that's the neat thing. You don't.
I said I would get back to these blue mushrooms. If you cook them, they give +3 intelligence. The dish, the omelette dish, where you have to use 3 eggs for every dish, just gives +4. And you're not allowed to stack them. You can't have both these ones active at once. meaning you have to go through a lot of hassle just to get 1 intelligence more from food. And these mushrooms, they are really easy to farm. They grow in all of the shroud here in the real wood area, plus in some of the caves. They might not be that easy to spot during the daylight, but they glow in the dark, so in caves or during nighttime they are really easy to find. And each of them, if they're fully grown, give +3 or give 3 of them. So you can very fast get a stack of 40 or 60 or something like that that will last you for a very long time. So in the situations where you don't need that 1 extra intelligence, which if we are being honest is pretty much all situations, just use the mushrooms instead. At least until they introduce some way into the game to get eggs in an easier way. If you thought this guide was useful, give a thumbs up. If you know some better way to get eggs, write it in the comment section below, or well, anything else as well is welcome. I will make more guides for Enshrouded. I really like both the gameplay and also the building. So I will actually give a little sneak peek on my next video, because my next video will be a building guide for a starting house. So this is a house I made on a new character, because I feel like if I want to make guides for the starting section of the game, I can't do that on a max level character, because a lot of stuff won't play out the same way as when you are new to the game. But anyway, this is a house that you can do very early on. I got all of the crafting people, but that's about it. So you can do it around maybe level 5. So not a lot of stuff to it when it comes to different materials, but there's some really neat building techniques that I think you can apply even if you're a lot higher level. For example, the grass roof, the little porch here, as well as some technique I use for the basement of the build. But that will be in the next video. Well, anyway, that was all for now. Cheers!